So are training goals good? I'd say yes and no. Okay, so training goals are great because they can increase your motivation to get to the gym and to be motivated, through the ups and downs of your energy. A goal can act like a glue to put all the pieces in place in your life that are needed in order for you to get to the next step. If you have a goal, you're more likely to organize your eating, your sleeping, and your lifestyle choices around that goal. So that's good. In that way, a goal can be very good. And the neat part is about a goal, you can shift goals. Say you want to do higher reps or endurance type goals or strength type goals. These are different types of goals. So once one goal becomes boring or almost like you plateau and you're not really passionate about that goal anymore, you can switch the goal and then rejuvenate your training and breathe new life into your training routine and breathe new life into your fitness routine. So goals are good in that way, okay? But what I've seen with a lot of people is that they make a goal, but they don't make adjustments to that goal based on what's happening inside their bodies and what's happening in their environment and what's happening in their life, okay? So for instance, say all of a sudden your work schedule changes and there's no way you can change this and you're only getting 3 or 4 hours sleep a night. It would probably be destructive for you to go in the gym and lift maximal weights all the time without any sort of recovery time, right? So this is an example of where you'd have to shift your goal or adjust your goal based on what is happening in your life. So a lot of times I've seen people try to do too many things at once. They say, I want to be the perfect, bodybuilder. I want to be the perfect student. I want to be the business tycoon. I want to do all these things all at once. And then what happens is that they have got all these split alignments, and then at some point something snaps, okay? Whether it's financial snapping, whether it's mental snapping, emotional snapping, or physical snapping, okay? So there's all these different things that do happen. Life just happens. As you're training, life happens. So what you want to do is make adjustments based on what is also happening in your body and in your environment. Otherwise, you will end up with an injury or some sort of problem, okay? Another good example is if you look at a map and you set a goal, you're like, I want to get to this city and I'm coming from this town and I want to get to this city. Okay, I have to take this road and all this kind of stuff. Well, what if, one of the bridges is washed out? What if there's construction on one road? What if you get a flat tire? What if the road turns, but the map says it's supposed to go straight? Well, you better turn, otherwise you're going over a cliff. So the fact is that you make adjustments all the time based on little goals in your life, and you must also do the same thing with your training. You can't just train and just say, okay, on my piece of paper, this is what's happening. This is what I'm gonna do because it's written down on my piece of paper, and then ignore the fact that you might not be eating, sleeping, or recovering because of high stress or the rest of it, okay? So ultimately, this is what you want to do. You want to pay attention to the stimulus that's going on in your life at the same time as match the stimulus with your goal and make adjustments. It's kind of like a relationship, Somebody says something to you, you answer based on what they say. You just don't answer just some random script that's in your mind without paying attention to what was said, right? You respond to what's being said, and you also do the same thing with your training. You respond to what's happening in your life and in your training. It's not just what's happening in the gym. The gym can be a marker of what's going on in your life. So if you're not sleeping, if you're not eating, yeah, perhaps your strength is going down, perhaps you're overtraining, perhaps you're getting joint pain because you're doing some type of construction on the side and then you're going to the gym and you don't realize that, yeah, I'm using these muscles way too much and now I'm going to the gym and using them again and now I'm getting an overuse type injury, right? Or perhaps you're doing something destructive in your life. Perhaps you're riding motorcycles and you're flying off the motorcycle all the time because you're doing stunts, and then you go in the gym and wonder why you have back pain. Well, if you're falling off the motorcycle all the time, landing on your ass and hurting your spine, then heavy squats might not be a good idea that day, okay? So this is something that I want you to keep in mind. It's you respond to the stimulus based on what's being shown to you in any one moment with your training and in your life, and you collapse them together. That's how you actually make more gains in fitness and bodybuilding, is that you look at your life from a holistic level. You don't just look at the fishbowl called the gym and say, oh, this is all the variables that I have to respond to. There's a much bigger environment that is responsible for your overall gains. It's not just what you do in the gym. It's just as important of what you do outside the gym. So I hope that helps you a little bit. And if you want to get a hold of me, just go to naturalgallantbodybuilding.com and take care for now.